Hello learners, today I am going to discuss in the strategic management very important strategic models. So one of the important strategic models which was developed by Michael E. Porter in 1979 to understand how the key competitive forces are affecting an industry. Porter's five forces model it is an analysis tool that uses five industry forces to determine the intensity of competition and its profitability level. So what you are observing on the screen, these forces determine an industry structure and the level of competition in that industry. The stronger competitive forces in the industry are the less profitable. An industry with low barriers to enter, having few buyers and suppliers, but many substitute products and competitors, will be seen as very competitive and not so attractive due to its low profitability. Say, for example, attractive industry. For attractive industry, high profits, like high barriers to entry will be there, weak suppliers, bargaining power, weak buyers, bargaining power, few substitute products or services will be there, and low competition. When it comes to unattractive industry, low profits, especially the low profits, low barriers to entry, strong suppliers bargaining power, strong buyers bargaining power, many substitute products or services will be there with the increased competition. It is the manager's job to evaluate companies' competitive position, especially in their respective industry. Why? They have to evaluate their own competitive position in the industry is to identify what strengths or weakness can be exploited to strengthen that position. The tool is very useful in formulating firm's strategy as it reveals how powerful each of the five key forces in a particular industry. Let me discuss one by one. Let me take the first force, threat of new entrants. This particular force determines how easy it is to enter a particular industry. Vice versa, how difficult it is to enter a particular industry. If an industry is profitable and there are few barriers to enter, rivalry soon intensifies, right? When more organizations compete for the same market share, profits start to fall. It is essential for existing organizations to create high barriers to enter to deter new entrants. Generally, when do we observe threat of new entrants? When you have low amount of capital is required to enter a market, when existing companies can do little to retaliate, existing firms do not possess patents, trademarks, or do not have established brand reputation, when there is no government regulation, when there is low customer loyalty, when products are nearly identical, so economies of scale can easily achieved. So this is all about the first and foremost force of Michael E. Porter, that is threat of new entrants. Second one, second important force, bargaining power of suppliers. Here, strong bargaining power allows suppliers to sell higher priced or low quality raw materials to their buyers. This directly affects the buying firm's profits because it has to pay more for materials. Suppliers have strong bargaining power when there are few suppliers but many buyers. Suppliers are large and threaten to forward integrate. When you have very few substitute raw materials that exist, when the suppliers hold scarce resources, when the cost of switching raw materials is especially high. So these are the few things where suppliers have strong bargaining power. Suppliers, I'm talking about the suppliers. Bargaining power of buyers. Buyers have the power to demand lower price or higher product quality from industry producers when their bargaining power is strong. Lower price means lower revenues for the producer, while higher quality products usually raise the production costs. Here, both the scenarios result in lower profits for producers. Buyers exert strong bargaining power when buying in large quantities or control many access points to the final customer. Buyers have strong bargaining power when only few buyers exist, when switching costs to other suppliers are low, and when there are many substitutes are there, and when buyers are price sensitive. Another important force, the force threat of substitutes. This force is especially strengthening when buyers can easily find substitute products with attractive prices or better quality, and when buyers can switch from one product or service to another with little cost. Say, for example, to switch from coffee to tea does not cost anything, unlike switching from car to bicycle. Another important force of the model is rivalry among existing competitors. This force is the major determinant on how competitive and profitable an industry is. In competitive industry, firms have to compete aggressively for a market share, which results in low profits. So rivalry among competitors is intense when there are many competitors when exit barriers are high, when industry of growth is slow or sometimes it may be negative, when products are not differentiated and can easily substituted, when low customer loyalty is there, right? So these are the five important forces that we have discussed, which is affecting an industry. How do we use this particular tool? It is a framework which is used to analyze industry's competitive forces. So how you are going to use this model in your study, or while studying the organization, or while studying the industry especially? So in the what you have to do is gather the information on each of the five forces. First, gather the information on each of the five forces, then analyze the results and display, then formulate the different strategies based on the various conclusions, right? Say for example, what kind of information will you gather? Say for example, if I take threat of new entry, like say, uh, you need to gather the information like amount of capital required, brand reputation, product differentiation, economies of scale, government regulations, all these things, right? So hope you'll go through this and you'll try to analyze an industry using five forces model.